I know this is going to make me sound like a bad person, but I genuinely regret helping a stranger on the train, because now, every single morning, I feel like I'm being held hostage by someone else's sense of safety, and I never agreed to any of it. This started a few days ago. Every morning I take the same train. Same time, same routine. It's the only quiet part of my day. No emails, no expectations, no people needing anything from me. Just me, my headphones, and a podcast. It's not exciting, but it's mine, and I didn't realize how much I relied on that until it disappeared. A few days ago, the train was more crowded than usual. I had to stand for a while before I finally got a seat. A girl sat down next to me, nothing unusual. Then, after a few seconds, she leaned in and whispered, "Hey, can you pretend you know me? There's a guy following me." I froze. My first instinct was to turn around, but she quickly added, "Don't. Black jacket. Behind us. Now, I'm not someone who goes looking for trouble, but I'm also not going to ignore someone who's clearly scared." So I nodded. "Hey, you still owe me coffee from yesterday," I said, trying to sound normal. She picked it up instantly. "Yeah, I know. I'll get it today, but I'm picking the place." And just like that, we were suddenly friends. We talked for about 10 minutes. Nothing real, just filler conversation. Work, weather, random nonsense. But I could tell she was nervous. Her hands were shaking the whole time. Then the train stopped. The guy got off. I didn't even look, but I felt her relax next to me. "Thank you," she said. "He's gone." "Yeah, you're good," I told her. That should have been the end of it. No names. No numbers. No reason to ever see each other again. I got off at my stop and forgot about it before lunch, or at least, I thought I did, because the next morning, she was there, standing near the entrance, waiting, and the second she saw me, her face lit up like she'd just found something she'd been looking for. She waved, like we actually knew each other. I slowed down without meaning to. Something about it didn't feel right, but I couldn't just pretend I didn't see her. "Hey," I said. "I was waiting for you," she said. "Want to ride together?" That sentence stuck with me. I was waiting for you. Not nice to see you. Not, "Hey." What a coincidence. Waiting. I didn't know how to say no without sounding like a complete jerk, so I said yes. We sat together again. No one was following her this time. No tension. No urgency. But she talked, a lot more than the day before. She told me about her job, her co-workers, her boss. Then she showed me pictures of her dog, same pictures more than once. I nodded, reacted just enough to not be rude, but in my head, something shifted. This wasn't a random interaction anymore. This was becoming something else. The third morning, she was there again, same spot, this time holding 2 coffees. "Less sugar, right?" she said, handing one to me. That caught me off guard. I don't remember ever telling her that, but I took it anyway. "Yeah, thanks." And just like that, it became a routine I never agreed to. She talked. I listened, or at least I pretended to. Every morning, same thing, same stories, same complaints, same energy. And slowly, without me realizing it at first, I started to feel drained. Not because she was a bad person. She wasn't. She seemed normal, even kind. But that wasn't the point. I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to give up the only quiet part of my day. I didn't choose to become someone's daily emotional support system. And the worst part? I started to feel guilty for even thinking that, so I tried something small. One morning, I put my headphones on, mid-conversation. She stopped. "What are you listening to?" she asked. "Podcasts," I said. "I usually listen in the mornings." There was a pause, then her expression changed, subtle, but noticeable. "Oh, I just thought we could talk." I didn't respond. Then she looked down and said, "But you're the only person who makes me feel safe on this train." And that's when everything shifted, because now it wasn't just awkward. Now it felt like responsibility, and I never agreed to that night. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I considered changing my schedule, taking an earlier train, a later one, even just calling an Uber so I wouldn't have to deal with it, which is ridiculous, spending extra money just to avoid someone who didn't actually do anything wrong. But that's how it felt, like I was being cornered into a role I didn't ask for, and the more I thought about it, the more frustrated I got. Why am I responsible for this? Why does one good deed turn into an expectation? Why do I feel like the bad guy for wanting my space back? By the fifth morning, I tried walking slower, hoping maybe I'd miss her. She was still there, waiting. By the sixth, I came earlier. She was already there. That's when it really hit me. She wasn't just coincidentally showing up. She was planning around me, and that made my chest tighten in a way. I didn't like that morning. She said something that stuck with me all day. If you're not here, I don't feel safe getting on. It wasn't dramatic. She said it casually, like it was just a fact, but that sentence stayed in my head the entire day. Because it wasn't just a statement. It was pressure. Unspoken, but very real. That night, I didn't consider avoiding her anymore. I realized something simple. Avoiding this would just drag it out. The only way out was through it. So the next morning, I showed up at the usual time. She was there. Of course she was. She smiled, started walking toward me, and for the first time since all this started, I didn't smile. Back, we got on the train, sat down. She started talking, and I stopped. Her. Hey, I said. I need to talk to you. She immediately went quiet. I'm really glad I could help you that day, I said. I mean that. She nodded slightly. But we don't know each other, I continued. And this has turned into something I didn't agree to. Her expression shifted. I can't be the person who makes you feel safe every day, I said. That's not fair, to you or to me. Silence, the kind that feels heavy but honest. I'm sorry, she said quietly. I didn't realize. I get it, I said. But I need my space back. She nodded again, didn't argue, didn't push, and somehow, that made it harder. The rest of the ride, we didn't say a word, but this time the silence felt right, not awkward, not tense, just clear. When the train stopped, I stood up. You'll be okay, I said. Sit near groups. Talk to staff if something feels off. She nodded. Thank you for that day. I nodded back, then I walked away. That morning, I put my headphones back on. The podcast picked up right where I left off days ago, and for the first time in what felt like forever, everything was quiet again. But I walked away with something I didn't expect to learn from a random train ride. Helping someone once doesn't mean you owe them ongoing access to your life, and being kind doesn't mean giving up your boundaries.